it's Kai. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new speed build video. And I'm really gonna try my best to talk a bit slowly than how usually fast I talk. It's because this video is pretty long. As you can see, it is almost 30 minutes, but I will try my best to keep it up. Today we are going to be building a very big family home in the style of a brick family home. I decided to build this build because I really enjoy building family homes lately, and I thought that I could squeeze in one more family home for this week, and it is going to be a very big brick home style for a big family. So this house is a family home that can fit up to 8 Sims, which is a very big number, and I believe it is the maximum number of Sims you can have for one household in the whole game. For one lot of build. But yeah, this build is pretty big. It consists of 7 rooms, I think. There is one bedroom on the ground floor, which you can definitely turn into like a guest room if you wanted to. And the others, there are 2 rooms upstairs that can fit 2 Sims. And the other 2 rooms are for single Sims. So basically you have 5 rooms for this house, but you can totally fit up to like 7 or 8 Sims. But we are building on a 30 by 20 lot, and surprisingly, I could fit in a very big house. I didn't think it would fit because 30 by 20 is quite small for a big home. But in the end, I think, it amazed me because suddenly a big house with 5 rooms fit in. So I'm really grateful for that. But we are building on a 30 by 20 lot in Oasis Springs, if I can recall. I chose this lot because it is very sunny, and also it is one of the 30 by 20 lots left that I can build on, because the other lots are like filled in with my other builds. I'm not sure if you guys would be interested in me releasing a save file consisting of my builds, my previous builds and stuff like that. But if you guys want a save file consisting of all the builds I've done in the same file to be saved, please let me know in the comments so I can arrange some stuff out for you guys if you want to ultimately download the tray file for all the builds I've done. But I'm also planning to get started on another save file, which maybe is like a themed version. So basically in the new save file, I am picturing to build for each world like a community. So there will be a lot of like builds, like restaurants and cafes and a community pool or anything like that. And also houses, obviously. So please let me know if you guys would be interested in that as well in the comments down below. But I really hope that you guys will like this build as much as I did building it. And I think this build is pretty functional. I managed to test it out with my single sim, and so far everything works really nicely, although maybe some parts are blocked by like clutter items, which you can just easily remove or move aside if you want to. But we're working on the structure and also the decoration over here, which is a pretty nice structure in my opinion. I refer to Pinterest, of course, for this build, as I do with other builds. I think that it is the easiest way if I cannot think of any like original structure. So I decided to use Pinterest to build this build, and basically the reference picture that I use only showed the front part of the house. So basically for this build, the front part of this build is a Pinterest inspired like surface. But for the back part and also the internal structure and stuff like that is basically original. So it is kind of like a 50-50 thing, if you would like to call it 50 original, 50 Pinterest inspired. But yeah, other than that, I really like this house. The structure was simple and very easy to work with. And the color scheme that I chose is a brick color scheme. So basically for this build, there are two brick colors. One of them is the red brick. I was also inspired by another separate post I saw on Pinterest, which I searched up like British home or something. I wanted to kind of build like a British inspired architecture home. But I came across this one picture that shows a very nice brick house. So I decided to get inspired in the terms of color scheme from that specific picture and apply it to this build. So in the end, the color scheme that I came up with is like a red brick with a contrasting color, which is like a faded green or beige brick wallpaper of the same kind. It is just that the swatch that I use for these wallpapers are different, but it is the same one. But yeah, I really like landscaping this build, and I think that it looks very cozy. I found those bushes that are either from the Snowy Escape pack or Cats and Dogs. I'm not sure which one, or Get Together. But I really like the size of it. It really looks bushy and also very big. So I thought that it would be a nice bush for the landscaping, and also maybe hide some windows that I wanted to hide, just to make it look like it is properly arranged and also kind of like organized in a way. And there is also some balance between landscaping and the structure of the build itself. So I decided to use some big bushes from the Get Together debug menu, if I can recall. If not, it's from like Snowy Escape or something similar. But I also placed a debug car from the base game, I think, in front of the garage door. And for your information, garages, I think I said it multiple times, but garages in The Sims 4 are pretty much not functional, so it is just for pure decoration. And a lot of you actually asked me like on my Instagram, where can I get cars and stuff like that. You can get cars basically from the debug menu of the base game, and I think there are also some cars in other packs. I'm not too sure what packs specifically, but if you have the base game only, you can access and get your cars by I think you have to open the cheat bar and then you type in bb.show_live_edit_objects or what is it, the debug one? I forgot the debug one, but if you do show_live_edit_objects, basically you can get access to cars. So you just have to scroll down the menu when you like access this menu. And to access this menu also, you have to search *debug on the lower left side where you can search stuff in it. So if you want to like search for cars, be sure to go ahead and do the steps that I mentioned just now, and you will be able to find your cars. But the floor plan of this house was very easy for me to configure, and it didn't really take up a lot of time. Although I kind of wish that the floor plan for the second floor is a tad bit bigger, would be. But in the end, I think it's pretty accessible in terms of the master bedroom as well as other rooms. But we are starting off to decorate the interior home over here, starting with the living room. I really like how the living room turned out, even though the colors that I use are kind of like dull and like wood tone looking. I actually wanted to do that. Like I wanted to have a color scheme so that it looks cozy and family like, not too cozy in terms of like there is a bond between the parents and also the children of this household, but cozy as to like just perfect. So I decided to use a like colors from the same color region, which are like wood tones. So I ended up like adding a sofa from the base game, I think, or Discovery University, that is, I think it is an unlocked object. So basically, if you have like, I think if you do the cheat that is show live edit objects and stuff like that, or ignore unlocks, you can unlock the locked objects for your household. So it is this sofa that I use that is locked by default. So I unlocked it and use it in this living room. I really like how it looks like, and I think it looks pretty cozy, but not too cozy. Like I said, it looks just nice and just family friendly. And then over here on the corner, we also have this fireplace that fit perfectly from the Cats and Dogs pack, which I really like. I decided to use a different swatch, but basically, if you notice in most of my builds, if I use that fireplace, I use the white color swatch. But I decided to shift things around and use a different color swatch for that fireplace. And then over here is going to be the kitchen, which is pretty much big. I think it is pretty doable as well. I chose the colors of the counter that are from the Parenthood pack, which are green. I really like how the green contrasted the sort of like brown reddish floor from the Cats and Dogs pack. So I really like the look of it, so I decided to use the green color, and then I also use these curtains that are from the Snowy Escape pack, and I use a different swatch than what I usually use, and it is a pattern one, and I think those are bamboos if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I really like the look of it, so I decided to use the curtains for the kitchen over here. It kind of created a calming vibe, so I was like, this curtain looks very nice for this kitchen. But like usual, I just clutter up the counters or the cabinets to make it look more lived in. And yeah, I really like how the kitchen looks like in the end because it looks very well lived in. And also for the center part of the kitchen over here, at first I wanted to include like an island counter. But if I place the island counter and place some bar stools, the fridge wouldn't be accessible. So I decided to just instead place a table or hallway table from the backyard stuff, I think, or yeah, I think it's backyard stuff, but it is very nice looking. I've done this sort of decoration before in my old builds, but I decided to apply it to this build again to make it look more cozier. And I also included this shelving unit from the Cool Kitchen stuff pack, which is a pretty underrated stuff pack in my opinion. I really like the Cool Kitchen stuff pack. And it also comes with like pictures, and the pictures are like very abstract and modern looking. But I didn't include the pictures in this build because I wanted to make this home look very cozy and very family oriented. But if you have the Cool Kitchen stuff pack, you can definitely look at that pack and then see that there are like pictures that are abstract and very nice to look at. And I really like also the items that came with that pack because they have like chopping boards and also that shelving unit, which is very, very nice. I really like the design of it, and I think it's a pretty underrated pack. Like I said, it deserves much more recognition. So if you were to ask me like what stuff pack should you get, I think you should get the Cool Kitchen stuff pack because it's a pretty nice pack. But over here is going to be where the dining room is. The dining room ends up having like a transparent roof, but I forgot about that when I placed that light bulb over there that is from the Cats and Dogs pack, I think. But yeah, so if you view it from the top with the lamp over there, you can basically view a floating light, which is pretty weird, but I only realized it only after I finished recording the furnishing and stuff and whatnot. So yeah, let's just pretend that the glass roof has like some surface on it where you can stick the ceiling lights. But I also ended up including a couple of plants from the same pack, which I believe are the Laundry Day plants. I really like that. But so far, like before this build, I couldn't really figure out what to do with those plants because they look very different from what I usually build, and I thought that it didn't fit the aesthetic, but when I placed it in this build specifically, it kind of looks nice, so I decided to just leave them there. And then over here we move on to the guest room, which is a pretty weird shape. I decided to include a Murphy bed from the Tiny Living pack, and I also pictured that this is a like extra room where the Sims of this household don't really use. So they decided to turn it into a half guest room and half like lounge area. So I included a couch and also a living room set, which I think is pretty nice. I really like how it was arranged, and I also included a lot of clutter for the coffee table, although you cannot technically place things under the coffee table without cheats. But yeah, I decided to clutter up the coffee table for the guest bedroom just now. And then over here is going to be their bathroom basically. It is very empty. I just included a cubicle from the seasons pack, basically like essentials for bathrooms. So there's a toilet and also a sink and stuff like that. But overall, I think there are like 3 bathrooms and also like 5 bedrooms. I think I mentioned earlier in the video, but the number of bathrooms in this build are a total of 2 or 3 bathrooms if I can remember, and also an extra laundry room which we are decorating over here. I decided to include a laundry room. I was like conflicting or like second guessing whether I should put a laundry room or what was the other one? I think it was like a pantry, but I decided to resort to the laundry room instead because it looks like the house is complete with all the stuff in it. And then we move on to the second floor, and I started off with one of the bathrooms because I thought that it would be easier for me to start off with. I didn't really think, I technically don't really think when I like decorate bathrooms. So I just decided to proceed with it first. And then we move on to this is the parents' bedroom, which is the master bedroom. It has an ensuite and is pretty small, but it's pretty accessible and functional. And I just simply decorated it with no personality of any type. I just pictured that it is a master bedroom with a complete set of wardrobe, a mirror, and also just some simple decorations like a plant and also like hanging plant, and also a couple of frames from the tiny living pack. I also included this bookshelf over here from the base game, even though I don't really use this bookshelf, but I thought that the color of it perfectly fit with the rest of the items in that room. And basically for the bathrooms as well, I decided to like just make it the same for each of them. And then we move on to one of the single bedroom, which this one belongs to one of the kids, no specific gender, but I thought that they really liked yellow and really liked bright colors, so I decided to make it a yellow color scheme bedroom. I really like how this bedroom turned out compared to the others because it is a unique bedroom if you ask me. Like I said, it is of a yellow color scheme, so I decided to include a bunch of yellow stuff. But yeah, I just pictured that this sim or the child that has this bedroom is very, very bright-minded and also has a bright and loving personality. So I just decided to decorate her room or his room according to the concept that I had in mind. So it turned out to be like a yellow color scheme. And I think I really like it as well compared to the other rooms. And then over here is going to be where the kids' rooms are. Basically, it is another kids' room. It can fit up to 2 Sims for this room. And I pictured that the kids that have this room are twins. No specific gender again, but yeah, they are twins and they share the same bedroom and the same stuff. And I thought that, since they're twins, they should have everything in sync. So I decided to place the same items for the beds, and one of them is very into music and pop, but the other one is more relaxed and just wants to have an organized lifestyle in the future. So I decided to decorate the rooms revolving around those type of personalities for the twins. And then over here is going to be the final bedroom, which belongs to a teenager. I think for this one, I pictured that it belongs to a teenager or young adult who is studying interior design in uni. So I decided to also make the sim that lives here or has this bedroom a young adult who is a female. So I decided to use a pink color scheme since I really like pink and I think it's a very feminine color, so I decided to use pink and also just splashes of blues and like purples throughout the whole color scheme for this bedroom. Other than that, I don't think there is much for this bedroom specifically. I just pictured that they are a sim who is studying interior design and also is very creative in terms of that kind of stuff. So they really like art, they really like to decorate or plan, and I think that's what interior designers do. Like, their life or career basically revolves around that. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if you know what exactly interior designers do, but I pictured that interior designers are people who are very, very creative and organized in a way that they plan their work ahead and stuff like that. And then over here, I was struggling to decorate the hallway, so I just left it blank with a painting. And now we move on to the back part of the build, which is going to be where the garden is and a porch. For the porch, I decided to make it as a lounge area, so it looks nicer like that. And I decided to use the couches from the Seasons pack. If I'm not mistaken, they're from Seasons. But I also placed some lighting around the house since it's been a while since I did that. I noticed that I forgot to add lighting for my builds when I finished them. But for this one, I decided to include lighting to make it look more nicer. And then for the garden area, I just pictured that it is a simple garden. So there is just going to be like a play area for the kids. There is a swing set that I included that is from the Seasons pack. I really like the color of that swing, so I decided to put it in here. And there are also some regular activities such as barbecuing and also gardening. I don't think there is like any other activities except I actually wanted to include like a water slide from the backyard stuff, but the water slide is very, very long and it doesn't fit the whole lot, so I decided to just leave it blank and decorate this garden like how very, very simple, just placing things around here and there with some random clutter, and also like a bicycle from the Discovery University pack. And like I said, there is a swing set for the children. And I think that's pretty much it for the whole video and build. I really hope that you guys will like this build. If you want to download it on the gallery, you can do so under my ID, which is simmerkhai. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And I hope to talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!